Welcome back, everybody, to Paranormal, the New Normal. I'm your host, as always, Jeremy, here trying to make the world seem a little more normal. And are we going to do any of that type of thing today? God, no. Because we are back once again with another special for you guys. It being the spooky season and all. We're going to talk about some of the non-scariest creatures you ever heard about in your life. And this, as some of you may know if you're old-time fans, this bracket has not been touched in years since I first made it. And we did it on Global Strangeness. I don't think it's ever been done on this show even. So we're going to have some fun with it. That's right. We're doing the Fearsome Critters bracket. I'll get into what those are in a little bit. But first things first, let me introduce the brave soul who dares to take on Fearsome Critters. My buddy Aaron from Semi-Skeptic Podcast is back once again. I haven't seen this guy in a couple years, but we're going to have a good time as he joins us about 5 hours ahead of me, but we're going to have a good time with it still and let different time zones have some fun together. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, my friend. Just keeping an eye open for things and seeking the truth as always. One day at a time.
What else can we do? What else can we do? But, well, folks, for those who don't know, Fearsome Critters were creatures made up by settlers way back in the 1800s, early 1900s, to explain noises and things that happened to them as they were going through the wilderness. And while some of these could possibly be true and exist, a lot of them most likely do not. I mean, we'll get into it as we get through these, but a lot of them most likely do not exist, I don't think. Otherwise, this world would be a lot more interesting. But I'm talking to you, Cactus Cat. But let's get this show started because you guys all know how brackets work, and Aaron knows how brackets work, so we're good to go. The first matchup, and actually got to look up what the other one is because I don't remember what the other one is, but it's going to be the good old aggro pelter against...
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know, right? Against the snow wasset.
Ooh, that's a pair up.
These were all randomly generated too. I did not ever put these matches together. They were randomly generated when I first made this bracket.
Nice, okay. So when you say verses, in which context now? Because I've heard these people do these brackets before, and they seem to change it all the time.
Oh, I mean, with this one, I'd say people can pick whatever they want to win because there's no reasoning behind these creatures, and there's no reason why you pick each one. I mean, I know why the original one we did. I know why what one won, but I'm not going to try to recreate that again. I'll let Aaron be a man of his own decisions. But which way do you want to go, Aaron? The aggro pelter or the snow wasset?
It's got to be aggro pelter. I mean, snow wasset's cool and everything, but it's just a white worm, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's aggro pelters are basically a simple way to explain branches falling off a tree when they die, but it's kind of interesting to think of a creature being up there throwing things at us all the time. Which
I kind of like how it, because obviously they say like they're so quick at doing it that kind of like the hide behind. Whenever you go to look, you've already missed them.
Exactly.
And so whenever someone gets hit by a branch and they look around wondering where it's gone and they can't see anything, they'll go, "Oh, that's the aggro pelter did it," which is like the descriptions of it differ, man. I mean, a lot of them say it's just a monkey. Other ones say it's like an ape that's a bit longer. Some say it's brown. Some say it's a jet black with like a white skull face. So it's who knows.
I mean, and the fact that they eat like woodpeckers and owls is just.
Yeah.
And I love that their pups are born on February 29th and always arrive in odd numbers. That's just, to me, that's hilarious. That's freaking hilarious. I mean, it's I like the aggro pelter. I'm happy you picked it because the snow wasset is cool, but it's kind of boring, I think, in a way. Like
it's like a watered down version of Tremors.
Basically, with like a furry, like fox type creature too. That's the funny part. It's not even like a actual scary creature, but that means aggro pelter does move into round two, and to find out who's going to face it, You have the hoop snake versus the razorback.
Now, the razorback, I tried looking up on the razorback, and all I could find was it's a type of warthog, isn't it?
Basically,
Yeah.
I mean,
But the hoop snake can bite its own tail and just go around with like a little wheel. that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty hard to beat in and of itself. But razorbacks are badass as well, aren't they?
yeah, I mean,
Well, which kind of hoop snake you going for? Are you going for the traditional one that bites its tail and goes off, or are we talking the Australian one that has like spindles from like separate spines in the middle?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can go whichever way you want in that one, really. But
I like the idea of a silly snake biting his tail and rolling down a hill.
I mean, for someone who doesn't like snakes like me, that is the most fearsome thing ever that they could be faster even.
Yeah, and it's
Because
weird
they
that
already
when
are pretty
they
fast.
yeah, but when they
They're
run
pretty
away from
fast.
their prey, they do it on their belly. It's like, what are you doing?
Mm.
Surely to get away, you'd go faster. Get on your wheel. Start spinning,
But
brother.
I mean, the razorback, for those who don't know, is basically it's a breed of hog in the South that people say is still out there, and as its back goes 10 inches above where its tail is, and basically it has almost like dinosaur spikes on its back.
Oh, okay. That's pretty sick.
And the only way to kill them supposedly is with a locomotive going 30 miles an hour.
Wow, that's specific.
I know. Someone had to do testing on that, I think. But
Yeah, how do they find that out?
I'm guessing early locomotives when someone got drunk and crashed them. That's what they blamed it on. Oh, I ran into a razorback.
Yeah, 100%.
But
Oh,
which way you want to go? The hoop snake or the razorback?
I've got to go hoop snake. It's just too fun.
Yeah, it is. It's like something out of a Dr. Seuss book almost. But
Oh, 100%. Or like old Ouroboros, the older snake that goes all around the world.
yeah, I mean, kind of. It's oh, I mean, it's kind of like the old Norse legend too of the serpent that goes around the earth, and once it eats its tail, Ragnarok begins. So
Yeah, that's the one, I believe. Yeah, Ouroboros. I don't know if it's the same one, but I'm sure like
oh, it might be.
all
It might
these,
be actually. It might.
you know, a lot of these legends connect together anyway.
Yeah, they tend to.
Yeah,
But
they all sort of borrow from each other.
that means that you have this hoop snake facing the Agripelter in the next round. But for your next matchup, it is going to be the Side Hill Gouger versus the Gilly Galoo Bird.
Oh, like the side hill gouge. I'd completely forgotten about the that one. So when when I was reading about it again, it was good fun. So the gilly, let me just quickly go into my notes because there's quite a few birds on this list, which is quite cool.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of birds when they were exploring America that they never heard of, but
Mm. Oh, yeah. Ah, yes, of course, yes. Yeah. Ooh, a gilly galley or the side hill gouger. Well, I like the idea of an animal with short legs on one side and long legs on the other, only being able to move in one direction and having to fight other ones to the death if they're coming the other way. That's always great. And the gilly galoo, that's also a hillside one, isn't it?
I don't remember off the top of my head what the hell their Gilly Galoo is. Oh, yes, it nests on hillsides and lays the square eggs. I forgot about that one.
Like little dice.
Yes, if you hard boil them, they have the characteristics of dice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and apparently you can tell they're around by hearing a very painful shriek followed by a relieving yowl. Well, giving birth to a square egg, I can imagine that would happen.
I imagine that'd be a very painful birth, but
Ooh. Ooh, it's got to go to the...
and their history goes back to Paul Bunyan too. So
Yeah. Quite a few of them do, I've noticed. Which is
well, that's when
quite
all these
funny.
settlers were settling, was when they were making up the Paul Bunyan tall tales. So
Yeah. Well, he's a giant lumberjack himself, isn't he? So that makes sense.
yes, it
But,
is. So which way you want to go? The square egg bird or basically the deformed goat?
got to be a deformed goat. I love goats at the best of times, but you get one with short legs on the right and long legs on the left, you're guaranteed a good time.
Exactly. It's like the it's like the freaking waitress at the bar that you don't want to get because she's gonna spill your beer everywhere. But
like the lady in Deadwood. You ever see that show?
no, I've always wanted to watch that. I never had a chance to
Oh,
actually.
it's awesome, man. Yeah, there's a lady who works in the tavern there. She's got a gimp leg. She's great.
Oh, there you go. But that means to see who's gonna face the side hill gouger. It's gonna be either, and I love this one, the Pacific Northwest tree octopus,
One of my favorites.
or the squonk.
Oh, that's a hard one. Oh, because I love the squonk. Shout out to Joe Fogel.
Yeah, it's basically it's squonk is basically just a poor crying ugly creature.
Yeah, it's basically like a deflated Shar-Pei that just walks around the woods crying about being ugly.
Yeah, to some degree.
I love the squonk though. He's so cool with his wrinkled skin and his ways. But then oh mate, yeah, the tree octopus. Because I sort of remember like some years ago, like 6 years ago it would have been. There was a post saying like celebrating 20 years of the tree octopus, and I read up about it then. And oh mate, it's so funny. It's just an octopus that lives in trees.
I know it's hilarious, but
And their
it's the
main
most random
predator
thing ever.
Sasquatch.
But which way you want to go? Oh yeah, and Sasquatch eats them supposedly, but
Yeah, it's their biggest predator. So you have to go with a squonk.
poor little ugly squonks. They are if you see pictures of them, they are literally the ugliest thing ever.
But almost in a
But
cute way.
almost, yeah. It's almost like a wrinkly naked mole rat, folks. If you want to picture something like it's like a wrinkly naked mole rat, almost in a way.
But really fat pig sized.
Yes. Wonder how they taste. But
leathery, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I would think so. But
you ever been to Squonk-a-Palooza?
Can't say I have.
Oh, it's Joe Fogel from Cryptoteology. It's a festival he puts on. They had their second year this year. It was cool, man. Yeah, people go there and they just celebrate the squonk. And they have all these different like cryptid games you can play. It's cool, man. I've not been because it's all over in America.
I'm sure I'd have fun with it. I'm definitely sure I'd have fun with it. But
yeah, man.
I'm guessing it's out west though, and I'd have to travel for that, and that'd be.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I did actually save it around here somewhere. I think it's like Pittsburgh or something. Begins with a P. One of those areas. Oh, there it is. Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's not too far. I could travel to that. That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Probably be like a 70-hour drive, maybe. But actually, not even. Maybe depends where it is. In Pennsylvania, I'm not sure. But that means the Squonk will move on to face the Sidehill Gouger in round 2. But the next matchup, and I love this matchup, it's the Whooper Hopper.
Ooh.
First, going against one of my favorite cryptids ever, the Hodag.
Hodag, 100% every time, twice on Sunday. Me and Chris, my co-host on our show, we love the Hodag. It
I
could be our
I think
mascot, just like in Rhinelander.
I think there actually is a festival for the Hodag too.
Yeah. They got the old Hodag Festival, and he's of course the mascot for Rhinelander. Is it their high school or their college? And
I think it actually is
their sports team is called the Hodags too.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's their team name because it was originally supposed to be from that area. But that means the Hodag does move on. But it's going to be moving on to face the Hodag.
Ooh, Hodag v. Hodag.
Or it's going to be facing the fur-bearing trout, because who doesn't like a hairy fish?
Love the fur-bearing trout. Apparently, the best way to catch one is to set up one of those barber poles.
Yep.
And with a sign saying free haircuts. And apparently, that'll make the fish go, oh, well, that's good. And you'll fall for it again.
Exactly. I mean, but the Hodag, for those who don't know, it's basically a moose with a huge upper lip and jointless legs, so it can't lie down and it can't graze. So it basically walks around looking like it's straight out of a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah, it's mental. Yeah, it has to sleep leaning against trees.
And apparently it has nails all around its feet so that it can hide its path, so no predator can follow it. Or hunter.
That's
but
pretty handy.
Yeah, I imagine that coming handy. So you want to do the Hodag or the hairy trout?
I'll be the hairy trout.
Oof. Nothing like a hairy trout. Who doesn't want to see that on their plate for dinner? I can't say I would, but that would turn me right off from eating.
Yeah,
but
have a knife, fork, and a comb.
That means your next matchup to see who they're going to face in round two. Actually, I know the fur-bearing trait will be facing the Hodag. But, sorry, Trout. But the next matchup is going to be the Glawakos, or Glawakas. But it's basically a devil cat going against the Goofus bird.
Oh, the one that flies backwards.
Yes.
And has upside-down nests.
Yep. And it was originally known as the Philamalu bird or the fruit fly bird. Basically, it looks like a turkey. It looks like it's a turkey with one pink wing, one black wing, a long green neck, and silver scales.
That's what you want.
That'll look good on Thanksgiving dinner plate right there. But
yes.
Did you want to go the Glawacus or the Goofus bird?
Got to be the Goofus bird. Those things are fantastic.
Well, to find out who the Goofus bird is, or what two are even competing to face the Goofus bird, you got to do your first play-in matchup of the day. It's going to be, the Splinter Cat.
Ooh.
Which is, for those who don't know, it flies through the air, and when it hits a large tree, it knocks the branches off, withers the trunk, and leaves it looking like a silvery ghost. So it likes to run into trees, and it does it so it can expose raccoons and bees to eat. Quite a variety diet there, bugs and raccoons, but...
And it gives it a permanent headache, so it's always in a bad mood.
And when you're in the dead of winter, folks, and you hear trees cracking in the woods, that's the Splinter Cat running into trees, just so you know. That's not just nature being nature. But
yeah, that's not frost making wood expand. No.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's flying cat.
But that means that the Splinter Cat is facing the Wapaloosie.
Ooh. Wapaloosie. Remind me, my friend.
It is the size of a sausage dog and has the feet and toes of a woodpecker. It has a spiked tail as well, which it uses to climb trees because it only feeds on mushrooms that grow on trees.
Yeah, I like that guy. He's cool. He's like a little shrew with like chicken feet.
Yeah, basically, and it's basically like a squirrel that just stays in trees all day looking for mushrooms. So it's like a squirrel that likes to take trips. But so is it gonna be the Splinter Cat or the Wapaloosie?
Wapaloosie.
Which means the Wapaloosie goes into round one, and the Wapaloosie will immediately be taking on the Tea Kettler.
Ooh. That's the
Which it's
funky
just
little dog creature, isn't it?
it's a small stubby-legged dog with the ears of a cat. And
Yeah.
it's called the tea kettler because it makes a sound that is like a boiling tea kettle. And just like the goofus bird, it only walks backwards, and steam issues from its mouth as it makes its whistle.
Fantastic. Ooh.
So you got the Wapaloosie versus the tea kettler.
Got to go the tea kettler.
Which means in the next round you're gonna have a battle of things that like to go backwards. But
ooh, nice.
We're gonna keep moving forward to the other side of round one. Ooh, for one of my favorite matchups.
That was
you
smooth.
have yeah, that's right. But it means you have one of my favorite creatures, the good old Snallygasta, which is, for those who don't know, is half reptile, half bird, and has a metallic beak lined with razor-sharp teeth, along with octopus-like tentacles. But
cool.
the Snallygaster is going against quite an interesting foe, the Whirling Wimpus.
Ooh, okay. They're both beasts as well. Like if we're talking, like, because for some reason these fearsome critters, for the most part, aren't fearsome at all. But between
these two are fearsome.
Yeah, these two are naughty because you got that one which obviously goes around just munching on whatever it finds, and then you've got the old the Wimpus, whatever it's called, which is like that's essentially a violent Sasquatch, isn't it?
It's basically is, and it's basically like a Super Mario villain because when it hunts, it picks a spot along a trail and just begins to spin, and it spins faster and faster until it becomes invisible, emitting like a droning noise. And those who are not aware of the noise will walk right into his danger zone, where they are smashed into a paste by the creature's high-speed fist. And then the rolling Wimpus will feed on the paste. It has an insatiable appetite for human blood.
It's like Taz with boxing gloves on.
Basically. But you want to go for the Snallygaster or the Rolling Wimpus?
Got to go to Snallygaster.
Ooh. And that means that the Snallygaster is going to be facing one you mentioned earlier, Hide Behind.
Ooh, commonly followed by the Reach Around.
Talking about that. Yeah, it basically it's like a lot of these creatures. It's blamed for the disappearance of loggers and settlers who just disappeared when walking past trees. It basically, you can't really find a good description of it. It looks like a dog, basically. But
yeah, it's a weird one because some say it's like a dog, some say it's like a big muscly cat, but then other ones say, well, if you can never see it, how do we know what it looks like?
Exactly. And apparently it has an aversion to alcohol, so just be drunk while you're in the woods, and they won't bother you. But
yeah, so if you're a lumberjack and you're caught drinking, tell them, "Oh, I'm doing it so I don't get eaten by a hide behind."
Yes, exactly. But the hide behind is going against the Tripodero.
Tripodero is a cool one because he reminds me of those. Like, have you seen those sniper fish?
Can't say I know those.
Yeah, they suck water into their mouth, and what they do is they stick their head above the water and they shoot bugs out of the air, and then they eat them when they fall down. The same as like a pistol shrimp when they crack their things together so hard it shoots a bubble and it knocks fish out before they eat them. So this
while you think
think
about this one, I am gonna grab something really fast so you can think about this one for a second because this is a tough one. The Tripodero has two telescopic legs and almost looks like an alien from Doctor Who, in my opinion.
Yeah, or a tripod type thing almost, like an organic tripod from like War of the Worlds or something like that. It is a crazy one.
I was thinking about that too. It kind of does look like a War of the Worlds creature. I mean,
Mm.
in a way. I mean, I can't imagine. It's supposed to be from California, which makes sense because all the weird things are from California. all the non-Americans that. Oh God, don't be starting in Florida. There's actually a podcast I'm friends with called Florida Men on Florida Men.
Oh, good podcast. I've been on there before.
I haven't had the pleasure of being on yet, gentlemen. If you want to bring me on, you're more than welcome to.
Oh no, sorry. They was on my old show. Sorry, I wasn't on their show. There was one of them came on my old show.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah,
cool.
It's an interesting show because they pick the best topic in the world. Because how can you not do a podcast about Florida, especially if you live there and you know all the locations that are weird and creepy.
Yeah, it's like one example for people is a guy robbed a convenience store, not with two guns, but with a baby alligator in each hand. And
I don't know what's more scarier.
Yeah, pointed them at the cashier. And, oh mate, I'd rather get shot than eaten by an alligator.
I mean, what's easier, to get a bullet out of you or to get your arm sewed back on when an alligator eats it?
Yeah, get that bullet out, knitting needle, bottle of vodka like in the movies.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, man. But so, which way are you thinking to go? The Tripodoro or the hide behind?
Got to be the hide behind.
Really?
Yeah, the hide behind's a classic. I mean, they're all classics, really, but
I know, yeah, they're all 150 years old. But the hide behind, I don't know. To me, it's too mild. It's too.
You think so?
I don't know, but it's your bracket, not mine. I just like the Tripodoro because it looks like a straight out by Alien movie. But the hide behind definitely would be a good choice as well.
Oh, but also I've forgotten the Tripodero also has telescopic legs, doesn't it? So it can be really small and then make itself big.
Exactly.
Pops up behind bushes. It's
Yeah.
might have to be the Tripodero. I like the idea of it having clanky legs.
Yeah, it's creepy, but that means the Tripodero will face the Snallygaster in the next round. But I love these two. Your next matchup is the Man-Eater of the Idaho Mines.
Oh, nice.
And it's going against the Axe-Handle Hound.
The Axe-Handle Hound's great. Because I just love how its diet is axe handles.
But I like the Man-Eater of the Idaho Mines because it's just one of those, like, no one knows anything about it. It's just, they found skeletons, so there's this gray grizzly groundhog like thing that has to live in there and eat people.
Yeah, but I like that one as well because that one's kind of like, because no one really knows what it is.
Exactly, it's a mystery of it all.
That could be real. Because it could just be a bear or something. But at the same time, if there's something out there eating people, that's scary.
Which, but it basically it's going against a dog with an axe-shaped head. Like, literally a creature that...
Yeah,
apparently, it's just a weird dog.
This one.
Yeah.
It's just like you say, it's just like a sausage dog. Its body looks like an axe handle. Its head looks like a hatchet blade, and it just goes around eating people's axe handles.
Exactly. It's
the dumbest thing ever. I love it.
It is, really is, but
the Man-Eater's got to take it for that one.
But that means to see who's going to face the Man-Eater. It's one of my favorites. But the first competitor is the Boger Owl.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which, for those who don't know, is basically an owl that can hold a human in its hooks.
Yeah, it's like
but that's all they really know about it. There's not really much out there about it. But it's going against one of my favorite creatures in this bracket, the Cactus Cat.
Oh,
my co-host Scott on Global Strangeness any bracket we would do after this one, he would just always, whenever he didn't want to pick one, he'd be like, Cactus Cat.
I don't blame him. Cactus Cat's always a winner. He's just looking for a good time. Just going around, scratching cactuses, waiting for the juice to ferment, coming back, drinking it up.
It's just his catnip. That's all it is. It's a cat that gets drunk off the nectar from cactuses. And it looks like a cactus. I mean, it looks like it's something straight out of a video game almost. Like,
it's like its tail kind of looks like a coral reef on the end, doesn't it? Where it sort of branches off into different.
Yeah, it has an armored branching tail, and it slashes the cacti at night, allowing the juice to run from the plants. And on later nights, it drinks the now fermented juice. So it basically waits to get drunk every couple nights.
Yeah. So if you're a lumberjack and you're out there getting drunk on cactuses, one, you're protecting yourself from a hide behind, and two, it wasn't even you. Cactus Cat did it.
Good old Cactus Cat. So is it going to be the Boger Owl or the Cactus Cat?
Cactus Cat. I think there should be a blues album called Cactus Cat. Like one of those blues rocks, like the old bluegrass one, you
know. But that means that Cactus Cat will gladly face off against the Man-Eater in the next round. But the next matchup you have, one of my other favorites, but first you have the Joint Snake.
Oh, nice.
And folks, that's only 2 out of 3 snakes we talked about tonight so far. We'll get to the other one in a little bit. But it's going against one of my favorite creatures ever, the Dungovin Huta.
Oh, yes. The Scarface of the fearsome critters.
Well, as I like to call it, the cocaine crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
Because it smashes all its enemies. It has no mouth, folks, so it likes to pulverize its victims into a fine powder and then snort them through a set of large nostrils.
Because if you're ever going to eat prey, that would be the way to do it.
And it especially likes rum-sodden prey, because it's from Maine to Michigan, basically. So it's cold up there, so they like the rum-sodden prey. They walk around at night with rum to keep them warm.
Good way for the lumberjack bosses to keep his men from getting too drunk.
Exactly.
He'll get you.
You got some creatures that'll help you get away with drinking. You got some creatures that will get you for drinking.
Oof. So that being said, that means you got the hide behind, Cactus Cat, and that fella, whose name I'm always forgetting. I mean, I don't know which one I'd rather face off against. Probably the Cactus Cat. But so it was that guy. Who was he against again? Sorry, the Joint Snake, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Joint Snake, which folks can break itself into pieces and will reassemble itself. So it's basically your worst enemy if you hate snakes, because you can cut it into pieces and they'll still come back together.
Well, legless lizards can do that. Certain species of them, you like cut their tail off and it can reattach it and whatnot. Also known as glass snakes.
I mean, it's also the fact, folks, that if it's said that if you're cutting it up with a pocket knife and you happen to put the knife down in place of one of the snake's pieces, the snake will join up with the knife and it will now become part of the snake's body. So you made it even more dangerous.
He's now got a bladed tail.
But which way you want it? And actually, Benjamin Franklin used one of these in a political cartoon in the 1750s. So,
yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the cocaine crocodile on this one.
Yeah, cocaine crocodile was a favorite in the original bracket.
But
that means you have the third and final snake in this bracket, the snow snake, up in the next matchup. But snow snake is to me not like really a special creature, really.
No, it's just a white snake that goes through the snow.
But it can live in the snow, which it makes it dangerous because most snakes can't, and if you think you're safe in the snow. But it's going against a classic, the Wampus Cat.
Oh, I like the Wampus Cat. He's cool.
He is, and apparently, folks, it's a cat that you can hear whining about camps at night. It's green-eyed and has occult powers.
Mm. Yeah.
And in the 1930s, North Carolina folks blamed it for killing livestock.
Yeah, a lot of these things get blamed for killing the livestock, don't they? You find that quite a lot.
Just lazy farmers, I think. But yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I do like psychic kitties.
Psychic kitties. They will get you in trouble in life.
But they will as well. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, it's better than a snow snake, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, a snow snake's just a dangerous snake. But
yeah, we've got loads of them.
Tell me about it, especially where you are.
Yeah, so Sidekick Kitty, he's the one. He's like Meowth from Pokemon.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Only not as wisecracking, I can't imagine.
Man, I can't imagine it. But that means you're going to have the Wampus Cat going up against the Dungarvan Hooter in the next round.
Ooh.
But the next matchup is going to be between the Rhinelapsus, which, folks, is a three-legged. It has three legs, each ending in a three-clawed foot, and it forms like a tripod, basically. And its skull is like a huge spider. It has a lizard head and one massive horn coming out of its neck. And it basically looks like a huge lizard that can walk around like a spider. It's creepy looking, honestly. But
it's cool,
the Rhinelapsus, yeah, it's cool. I mean, but it's also going against the Gumberoo, which is basically looks like a big bear, but it has hide so tough that bullets bounce off of it.
Yeah. Oof. Well, the Rhinelapus is really cool because I like that you can actually go and see it because it's just made out of wood.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
And I mean, basically in this, you're going with the tripod against the bulletproof bear.
Bulletproof bear's kind of boring though, isn't it? And it's like
I think it's scary.
The only way to kill it is with fire, which makes it explode for some reason, which makes me think it's running around a field of gunpowder.
Maybe. Yeah. Or they eat enough of those berries, they get them drunk, and I mean, I guess if you put a flame to it, natural reactions may happen. But which way you want to go? The Rhinelapus or the Gumberoo?
Gotta be the Rhinelapus. It reminds me of what's that big monster from Stranger Things?
Oh, the oh my God! How can I know what you're talking about. I can't. I want to say leech, but I know it's not right.
The
Mind Reaper.
Something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
I forget what the hell it's called, but
Mind something. Who knows? It'll come back to us soon.
It should, hopefully. But Mind Flayer.
Mind Flayer, that was the one. Yes, Mind Flayer.
Yeah, Mind Flayer.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that with his long arch-like, trunky legs.
Yeah. But you have your next play-in match, your last play-in match of the night, to figure out which one of these creatures is going into round one. And you have the Belled Buzzard, which is basically a buzzard with a sleigh bell or cowbell attached to it. And it flies around making noise. But it's going against the Jimblecute.
Oh yeah, that's a strange one, the Jimblecute.
Yeah, it's kind of like
I tried reading up on it, and they talked more about the Jefferson Jimblecute paper more than they did the actual Jimblecute itself.
Yeah, Well, the key to any of these folks is to put cryptid after the name, and it'll pop up. But yeah, the Jimble is a ghastly phantom that resembles a prehistoric monster, and it attacks travelers on lonely moonlit roads. It has a vampiric appetite, and it likes to lunge out at passerbys and seize them by the jugular, draining them of their blood. And so it's basically very similar to a snallygaster in ways. But
sort of vampiric.
Other than that, people don't really know anything about it.
Well, I do like the bell buzzers.
And supposedly it can have several tails.
Because those are based in fact, the old bell buzzers, because people used to put bells on their like turkeys and birds and stuff, so people wouldn't steal them.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't get, or if they got away, they out in the woods, they'd be able to hear them moving around. But because one of them was seen flying over while there was an outbreak of yellow fever, people decided then, it comes when some massive catastrophe is on the way, and it's like, okay, if you think so.
And actually, it's funny you mentioned Jefferson Jimble Cute, because he actually once displayed the creature as a sort of dragon or some such animal with several tails and many legs. So, he tried to give it a little more of characteristics. But you want to go with the bell buzzard or the Jimble Cute?
I'll go with the buzzard.
Which means the bell buzzard moves into the final matchup of round 1 to face the famous ball-tailed cat.
Ooh. Now, I like the ball-tailed cat because,
it's basically
which one are we going for? Because there's a couple of types, isn't there? So they've got the one with the plain sort of rocky kind of tail, with the big ball on the end, or you got the one with the spikes on one side.
The original one, which is similar to a mountain lion basically, but has a long tail and with a solid bulbous mass at the end for striking its prey. And the other versions you're talking about are the silver cat and the digmal, which weren't they didn't come up with those to the 20th century. But the original one was just a mountain lion with a big, basically scorpion tail to hit people with.
Yeah, it's got to be the ball-tailed cat.
All right, and the ball-tailed cat. So you're going with ball-tailed cat over the bell buzzard?
Yeah, it's a cat with a morning star.
Exactly. And hey, Harley, thank you for watching as always. But that means round 2 gets started off, and you're now going to be going through matchups you made. So it's all on you now.
Excellent.
But it's the aggro pelter versus the hoop snake.
Aggro pelter takes that. Aggro pelter's a hard one to beat.
It is, but we'll see as you go further on if it's that hard to beat. But because it's going to be facing one of these two in the next round, it's going to be facing either the side hill gouger or the squonk.
Ooh. I'm going to have to go with the squonk against the side hill gouger for sure. I love the side hill gouger. He's cool and all, but my squonky squonk, he's just a great laugh, isn't he? Well, he's not. He's miserable as sin, but I think he's a great laugh. He's good to laugh at.
Exactly. And you feel bad for him too. He makes you want to cry. But like, you poor creature. But that means
himself.
Exactly. He dissolves himself because he cries so much, because he knows what he looks like. But that means your next matchup, and I think it's going to be an easy one, but we'll see, is the Hodag versus the fur-bearing trout.
Hodag. Every time. It's so much cooler.
My Hodag over there. But I actually have a Hodag. I have a Hodag figurine somewhere that I got in a cryptic crate a while back when I used to get those, actually. Yeah. I think I actually have like a flag for it too, but that means the Hodag's going to face one of these two in the last matchup on round 2 of this, on this side at least. And it's going to be going against either the Goofus bird or the tea kettler.
Ooh. Tea kettler, I think. I just like the idea of it moving backwards and blowing steam out of its face.
Well, both these things move backwards. That's why this matchup is funny. It's a backwards matchup in a way.
And he has the upside down nest as well. Yeah. Oof. Backwards flying bird.
I mean, keep in mind whichever one you pick's gonna face the Hodag next round. So.
Yeah, it's got to be the tea kettler.
All right. Well, that's gonna bring us to the other side of round two, and the other side of round two is gonna get started off with the Snallygaster versus the Tripodoro.
Well, it's going to be this. It's got to be the Snallygaster on that one. Tripodoro is cool. And he's got the whole sort of shooty thing going on because he can like shoot mud and stuff. But I feel the Snallygaster, he comes up on top. I mean, he's got like metal jaws and like wings and stuff. He's just, I like the Snallygaster. He's a naughty one.
Which means to face the Snallygaster is either going to be the man-eater of the Idaho mines or the Cactus Cat.
Cactus Cat. He's just too cool. It's got to be Cactus Cat. Because for all we know, they're both the same.
Could be. Bigger conspiracies have been talked about in this podcast before. But Snallygaster versus Cactus Cat. That's gonna be an interesting matchup right there. But this next matchup though is just as interesting, and it's only in round two. It's the Dungarvan Hooter versus the Wampus Cat.
Oh, see, Wampus Cat's cool, but he ain't no cocaine croc. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the one I can't pronounce, the one with the nostrils.
Dungarvan Hooter, and that's right. That's it, folks. I mean, put on some Elton John, Cocaine Crocodile Rock, and let's go. But because the Dungarvan Hooter is going to be facing one of these two in the next round, either the Rin Oedipus or the Ball-tail Cat.
Oh, yeah. See, those are two ones that I do like quite a bit because I love the Rhinelopus, but the ball-tailed cat is, again, like we said, he's a cat with a morning star. It's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jeremy, what have you done to me, bruv?
For any authorities listening, nothing. But
yeah, it's got to be the ball-tailed cat.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, so which means that licorice whip.
That means the ball-tail cat joins the final 8 creatures in this that are left. But we'll go back to the other side to start off the quarterfinals, and you're going to have the Aggro Pelter versus the Squonk.
Ooh. Yeah, see, I love the Squonk, but Aggro Pelter again. I just love the idea of a cheeky monkey lobbing sticks at people.
I mean, honestly,
no reason. Because he doesn't care about people.
It could have been a Bigfoot for all we know. It could be really just a Bigfoot hanging out in trees. Who knows? Possibilities are out there.
Got to be a little tree or a very big tree, isn't it? Like fit Bigfoot in there.
Could be a young Bigfoot. Maybe that's what the kids do for fun. But
are they quick though? How fast are these big feet?
Oh, I mean, supposedly
they might be big feet, but it doesn't mean they're quick feet.
Supposedly they can use portals to go where they need to go. So,
I have heard they can use portals. I watched a documentary about it on YouTube.
Yeah, ultra-terrestrials they may be, but who knows?
So yeah, he could jump out the portal, lob a stick, go back in again. Because they say, like, when people look around, they never see him. He could be using the portal. You might be on the same, Jeremy, my friend.
I never thought of that, but it could be. It could be like a Nightcrawler type thing.
Yeah. So that's a new conspiracy. Is the Aggro Pelter and Bigfoot one and the same?
Yes, I like to make conspiracies once in a while on this show, but that means the other matchup on this side of the quarterfinals is the Hodag versus the Tea Kettler.
Hodag.
Yeah, like I said, whichever one you picked in the Tea Kettler matchup is going to be facing the Hodag. So,
Hodag's too cool for school. He's called the Hodag, for crying out loud. As soon as I heard there was an animal called the Hodag, I was like, I got to look into this.
Yeah, I mean, and folks, if you want to have a fun time, just go up to your wife and be like, "Who's my favorite Hodag?" And the pair sleep on the couch, but still, it'd be fun times.
And if she turns to you and growls and winks, marry her.
Oh, well, I said wife, so you're actually married at that point. But
yeah,
still,
true. Don't divorce that one.
Be happy you made your decision if she turns around and growls and winks at you. But that means the first matchup in the other side of the quarterfinals is going to be the Snallygasta versus the Cactus Cat.
Oh, that's a tough one, but my mind did immediately go to Cactus Cat. Yeah. I just love how he just leans up against the cactus like he's just there smoking a cigarette or something.
He was the cool guy of the West. Come on now. But that means your final matchup in the quarterfinals is going to be the Dungarvanhooter versus the Ball-tailed Cat.
Dungarvanhooter, he takes it for sure.
Oh, we almost had a cat matchup in the semifinals, but we avoided that. But I will say the four that are left into the semifinals are all beloved, interesting ones. So this is going to be interesting to begin with. But your first semifinal matchup is the Agropelter versus the Hodag.
Again, I love Bigfoot's babies, but it's the Hodag we're talking about, man. And the Hodag's got so much more around it as well, like history-wise as well. Like people used to pay to go see this little thing that this bloke made that wasn't even real and just.
Oh yeah, there's a statue in the town that it's originally from that they have a big statue when you enter the town. But and it's a fearsome looking statue, honestly. Would make me kind of question wanting to run into one of these creatures. But
it's got that means gnarly teeth on it.
It does. But that means the Hodag moves into the final matchup, but the Agropelter will be back to see if it can take third place. But before we get there, we gotta go to the other semifinal matchup, and it's gonna be the Cactus Cat versus the Dungarvanhooter.
Cocaine Croc versus Cactus Cat. Ooh, yeah, it's got to be my Cactus Cat again. I just feel like he just seems like a music fan. You know, someone that desert rock.
Well, since you made that decision, I will actually tell you why I was trying to avoid telling you until a guy voted out. But the Dungarvanhooter actually won the original group bracket for this bracket.
Oh,
because
really?
the Cocaine Crocodile nickname kind of pushed it through. Everybody had fun with that for the rest of the night. But a lot of these brackets go certain ways just because people hear a phrase and they run with it. But that means it's time for the third and fourth place matchup, and that's going to be between the Agropelter and the Dungarvanhooter.
Agropelter. It's got to be.
Ooh, I did not see that coming. The Dungarvanhooter goes from winning first place to winning fourth place, but at least they hit the final four. There are.
Well, he's aged since last time.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. But there also are, I mean, there are 32 of these. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 30 of these that didn't even hit the final four. So, you know, it's all fair in love and war. But that means the finals matchup is going to be between the Hodag and the Cactus Cat in a true legendary final matchup.
Yeah, it's going to have to be the Hodag.
Which means the Hodag officially takes first place, putting the Cactus Cat in second, with the good old Agropelter taking third place. Hashtag Bigfoot babies. And in fourth place, the Dungarvanhooter. Hashtag Cocaine Crocodile.
I love that we've got a Cocaine Croc, a Larry Monkey, a Hodag, and an alcoholic cat.
It's quite a final four, and to run into these four in a bar would be an interesting night. That's for damn sure. But
I would watch that movie.
I'm telling you, there was an idea I saw online years ago for a cryptid cartoon about all the different cryptids, like just trying to function and live in society together and stay hidden. But if they did one for Fearsome Critters, it would be an interesting show. it'd be it'd be the special ed edition of the cryptid show, but it'd be interesting. But tell them about your podcast, Aaron, and where they could find it. Oh, internet issues, I'm guessing, folks. We'll see if he hops back on. Give him a minute here. Ah, there he is.
Sorry about that, my friend. My internet cut out for a second there.
That's all good. Why don't you tell them about your podcast and where they can find it?
Well, our podcast is called Semi-Skeptic, and it's literally just me and my mate Chris. We look into all the weird things of the world, be it Bigfoot, 9/11, anything like that. If there's a conspiracy or sort of debate behind existence of certain things, we just like to look into it with an open mind, because with these people, we like to put the evidence and science first and everything, but we also understand that science can't explain everything until it can. So, I don't believe in things like Bigfoot, but I'm not going to say they're not real because I don't know. I've not been there. I haven't looked around. But,
exactly. More people need to have this man's attitude. And actually, they're closer to being proven. They're closer to being proven real than ever. So,
do you reckon?
A California scientist has been working and finding evidence. So it just has to be officially authorized by the government that this evidence is real. Which good luck with that.
California scientist, though.
We'll see.
I just feel like he's probably a surfer or a stoner.
No, she's a real scientist. She's very professional. She actually wasn't even looking for Bigfoot at first, but then she found something she was testing a lake to get different urine samples, and she came across one that couldn't be identified, except that it was primate in nature.
Oh, cool.
And then she also found some fur after she started looking that can't be identified either. So there's possibility of proof coming sooner than later. I mean, the government already knows it exists. They just have to admit it. But good luck with that. Like I said, the next big pandemic, that'll be the announcement. Not since they did UFOs the last one. Next one will be Bigfoot. But we'll see. We'll see. And go check out Semi-Skeptic. Go check out Semi-Skeptic Podcast.
Real.
I hope it is too. I've been hoping it's real since I was a little kid. But folks, go check out the Semi-Skeptic Podcast. And if you go way, way back in my episodes on YouTube, you'll find an episode with both of them on it, Aaron and Chris. So go back and check it out. And you all know how to find me. If you don't by now, just shame. But go check the outro. It's all there for listeners, for watchers. It's been going to get on the bottom of the screen the whole time. Come on now. But till next time, everybody. Actually, I'll be back tonight, folks. We're doing our group horror movie bracket. It's finally time to do the Hospital Asylum horror movies bracket part 1. So come listen to us talk about horror movies later tonight. It's right up there in the Halloween season, but I know Aaron will probably be in bed by this point, but we'll see. I think it'd be about 2 a.m. your time, but come check it out, folks, and have a good night. If I don't see you later.
Thanks very much, Jeremy, my friend.